If you've ever seen your dog barking at an empty space and wondered what they're seeing, the answer might be stranger than you think. Dogs have extremely sharp senses, far beyond what we can perceive. Today, we're going to explore 10 incredible abilities that explain why dogs react to things that seem non-existent to us. And the last one, well, it might make you a little uneasy. 1. Dogs can see ultraviolet light. The idea that dogs see only in black and white is a myth. They have the ability to detect ultraviolet, UV, light, which means they can see patterns and colors that are invisible to us. For a dog, flower petals may appear as bright signals, and certain markings on animals can be seen in a completely different way. This special vision also helps them detect traces of urine or old markings left by other animals, giving them a much more detailed perception of the world than we have. If your dog seems obsessed with something you can't see, they might be picking up details that are only visible under UV light. 2. Dogs have incredible night vision. If you've noticed that your dog moves around in the dark without hesitation, there's a reason for that. Dogs have a special structure in their eyes called tapetum lucidum, which reflects light inside the eye and improves their vision in low-light environments. Additionally, they have more light-sensitive cells than humans, allowing them to see movements with greater precision in the dark. This helps them detect animals and objects easily while we can barely see a few inches ahead. While you're stumbling around in a dark room, your dog already knows exactly where to step. 3. Dogs can sense changes in atmospheric pressure. Your dog might be able to predict weather changes before you even realize it. Before a storm, hurricane, or even an earthquake, atmospheric pressure shifts drastically. Dogs can feel these variations through their skin and inner ears, which can make them restless and anxious. If your dog suddenly starts hiding, acting strangely, or showing signs of nervousness without any apparent reason, they might be sensing a shift in the air that you haven't noticed yet. Pay attention to this behavior. Your dog could be a natural warning system for upcoming weather changes. 4. Dogs hear sounds you would never notice. Many times, it seems like dogs react to nothing, but the truth is they hear sounds we could never perceive. Dogs can pick up on frequencies much higher than human hearing, detecting subtle noises like the distant calls of animals or the hum of electronic devices. This also explains why fireworks and thunderstorms can be so terrifying for them. The sounds are much more intense and piercing to dogs than they are to us. If your dog seems scared or alert for no apparent reason, it might be because they're hearing something you simply cannot detect. If you love dogs as much as we do, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel to follow our daily tips. 5. Dogs can predict medical crises. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's real. Dogs trained for medical assistance can predict epileptic seizures, drops in blood sugar for diabetics, and even heart attacks before they happen. This happens because they can detect subtle changes in body odor, breathing, and heart rate. And the most incredible part? Even dogs that haven't been specifically trained for this can sometimes show this instinct. If your dog suddenly starts acting insistently around you without any apparent reason, they might be sensing something about your health before you even realize it. 6. Your dog notices every small movement. You make dogs don't just see our movements, they analyze every tiny detail of our behavior. They have a specialized brain capacity that allows them to detect subtle changes in posture, facial expressions, and even how we blink. This makes them experts at interpreting body language, which is why they seem to know when we're about to leave, even before we grab our keys. If your dog seems to know exactly what you're going to do before you act, it's because they're picking up on signals so subtle that you don't even realize you're giving them. 7. Dogs smell things you could never imagine. A dog's sense of smell is up to 1,000,000 times more powerful than ours. They can detect pheromones that indicate fear, aggression, and even attraction in both animals and humans. This explains why they react differently to certain strangers. They are literally smelling that person's emotions. Dogs can also pick up on changes in the human body, such as stress, pregnancy, and even illnesses. If you want to strengthen your bond with your dog, let them explore their environment through smell. It's how they truly understand the world. 8. Dogs can sense your body heat. From a distance, dogs have heat sensors in their noses that allow them to detect warmth radiating from people, animals, and objects. This ability, inherited from their hunting ancestors, allows them to identify warm-blooded prey even in low-visibility conditions. Additionally, dogs can perceive temperature changes in humans, which may explain why they stay close to you when you're feeling sick. If your dog likes to sleep next to you, they might not just be showing affection. They could be instinctively seeking warmth and comfort, just as they would in a pack in the wild. 9. Your dog knows exactly how you feel. Dogs are true emotional mirrors. They can detect changes in your tone of voice, posture, and even in your scent when you're anxious, happy, or sad. This explains why some dogs try to comfort their owners when they're feeling down and why they get extra excited when they sense you're in a good mood. Your dog doesn't need you to tell them how you feel. They already know just by observing and sensing your presence. 10. Dogs and the supernatural. Fact or fiction? Can dogs really sense ghosts, or is it just our imagination? Although there's no scientific proof, many pet owners report that their dogs react to things they themselves cannot see. If your dog suddenly starts growling, barking, or staring at an empty corner, they might be detecting something you can't explain. If this behavior gives you chills, trust your dog's instincts. And maybe keep the lights on. Dogs experience a world completely different from ours, filled with invisible scents, unheard sounds, and details that go completely unnoticed by us. So, next time your dog barks at what seems to be nothing, stop and pay attention. They might be trying to show you something that only they can perceive.